You ever watch your entire sense of self-worth get tossed on a tile floor by someone who truly believes the rules don't apply to them? That's what happened to me at 6:52 in the morning in an airport so sterile it smelled like coffee, disappointment, and recycled air. My passport made this flat, plastic slap as it hit the ground, a sound so sharp the whole terminal turned to look. All I could do was stare at it, blinking away the fog of sleepless night, trying to figure out how in the world my day just spun off the rails because of a stranger's opinion. See, I was alone, half awake, waiting to board, backpack hooked over one shoulder, thumb scrolling my phone, passport ready like any other traveler. Nothing about that morning felt special until she showed up. Middle-aged, designer shades still on inside. Hairstyled so perfectly it looked bulletproof, like she'd been born to file complaints and cut in line. Her whole vibe screamed, rules are for other people. Even before she said a word, you could tell she was running hot, jaw tight, sighs loud, her fingernails drumming a war beat on the counter. All I wanted was to get to my seat, plug in my headphones, and fly somewhere new. Instead, the moment the gate agent reached for my passport, this woman leaned over like she was doing a forensic exam. "That doesn't look right," she declared, way louder than necessary. I tried to smile it off. "It's real, I promise. I've flown with it a dozen times." But before I could blink, she snatched it right out of the agent's hand. The energy in the line snapped from sleepy to tense in a heartbeat. She flipped through the pages like she was looking for proof of a crime, shaking her head, ticking off imaginary flaws. The stamp alignment's off. I travel internationally. I know what real looks like. I reached for my passport. Too late. She backed up, holding it above her head like she just caught a thief. Then she said it. "This is fake documentation. You shouldn't even be in this line." It was so bold, so out of left field, I actually laughed. But nobody else did. The mood had shifted. Phones dropped. Conversations died. I could feel every stare, every silent question. Is he actually trying to get away with something? The gate agent finally piped up. "Ma'am, please return the passenger's passport." Instead, the woman just let go. Deliberate. She dropped it right on the tile. "Call security," she announced. And suddenly I was standing there, my passport on the floor, my identity questioned by a total stranger, and I had no idea what to do. I felt my stomach bottom out. Logic left the building. All I could think was, what if I miss my flight? What if this goes on my record? What if I get put on some list because this random woman didn't like my face or my document or the way I was standing in line? When security showed up, then airport police, it felt like the world was closing in. Calm, professional, but with an edge that made it clear they took her seriously. One officer picked up my passport with gloves, the way you'd handle evidence. They asked me to step aside. Not her. She crossed her arms, smug. "See? Told you, fake." That was the moment I realized this wasn't about confusion. She liked this. She wanted everyone to see she was right, and I was wrong. While they examined my passport under bright lights, flipping pages with slow, deliberate motions, another officer asked me the usual. "Where you going? How long you had the passport? Have you replaced it before?" I answered every question, voice steady, hands clenched so hard my knuckles hurt. Meanwhile, she kept holding court. "I've seen fake ones before," she insisted. "They get the font wrong, the laminate, the stitching. People like him think nobody will notice. People like him." She never said what she meant, but the message was clear enough. I stood there, trapped in a pocket of silence, watching my reflection in the glass, jaw clenched, face pale, posture screaming guilt, even though I'd done nothing wrong. The officer scanned my passport, beat pause, a little frown at the screen. She seized the moment. "See? Something's wrong." He didn't reply, just stepped away, radioed quietly. Every tick of the clock felt like another nail in the coffin of my travel plans. Then she really went for it. "You should check his bag. There's always more with these people." The officer finally snapped. "That's enough." She rolled her eyes, huffed like she was the victim now. Wow. I try to help. And I'm the problem? If this were my community, he'd be escorted out already. Her voice had this edge, half victim, half dictator. The kind of energy that steamrolls anyone who pushes back. More staff arrived, more officers. The gate was a mess, passengers craning necks, some clearly rooting for me, others just glad it wasn't their name being questioned. The officer looked up. "Sir, do you mind waiting a moment longer?" What choice did I have? He turned away, conferring with colleagues. All business. I saw a sliver of hope. They weren't alarmed, just thorough. She noticed too, and ramped it up. "So, are you going to admit it's fake or not? Just tell the truth. It'd go faster." That broke me. I snapped back. "I have been telling the truth. You grabbed my passport, you dropped it, you accused me, and you're still talking." The whole area froze for a second. She recoiled, eyes wide with manufactured offense. "Excuse me." An officer stepped between us. "Ma'am, please step back." She threw her hands up. Unbelievable. I try to protect people, and this is what I get. I looked at the officer holding my passport, praying for a verdict. He met my eyes, calm, direct. "Sir, your passport is valid." Those words hit like the first breath after surfacing from a dive. My shoulders dropped, relief and exhaustion all tangled up. "Okay," I muttered, just barely holding it together. But she wasn't done. She let out this laugh, high and mocking. "No, it's not. You didn't check it properly. Ask them to verify again with the system." The officer just nodded. "We already did. Twice." The smile slid off her face. In desperation, she tried one more trick. Then verify hers. She pointed to the gate agent. "Or mine. Something's wrong here." Finally, the officer turned to her. "Ma'am, can I see your identification?" She froze, just for a heartbeat, but I saw it. That's when the story flipped. She fumbled in her purse, pulling out everything but the ID, stalling, talking, acting indignant. "This is ridiculous. I fly all the time. I live in a private community. I know how these things work." At last, she handed over an ID card. The officers looked at it, shared a silent glance. Then they walked away, ran it through their system. Beep. Pause. Longer pause. She started tapping her foot, demanding an apology, voice getting shriller. When the officer came back, his voice was careful, measured. "Ma'am, this identification doesn't match any active travel record." She went white. "What? That's impossible. I use my husband's booking sometimes." "Everyone does that." "No," he said flatly. "They don't." The gate staff double-checked their screens. No match. Her boarding pass was for a different person. The ID expired. Nothing was lining up. "You're not cleared to board this flight," the officer said. Her voice went up an octave, desperate. "You're taking his side after everything I pointed out?" He didn't flinch. "Ma'am, his documents were valid from the start. The only irregularity here is yours." She tried to pivot. "Well, maybe if he hadn't brought a suspicious-looking passport. That's enough. Step aside, please." And for the first time, it was her, not me, getting escorted away from the gate. As she left, she twisted to glare at me, hissing, "You planned this. People like you always do." I didn't answer. I didn't have to. The gate agent returned my passport with both hands. "I'm so sorry about that. You're cleared to board." A real apology, quiet, a little embarrassed, but sincere. Walking down the jet bridge, my legs felt wobbly, but my head was clear. She never threw my passport because she honestly thought it was fake. She did it because she believed the system would automatically side with her, that power could skip proof, that noise could beat facts. She was wrong. For once, facts mattered. I took my seat by the window, watching the world drift by as the plane rolled toward takeoff. Somewhere behind me, I could imagine her still arguing, still convinced the world had cheated her. But for once, the gate closed without her. My passport was real all along, and so was the lesson. If you've ever had your truth tossed on the floor by someone who thought their voice was law, I want to hear your story. Drop a comment. Hit subscribe if you're hungry for more moments where the facts finally win. And tell me, when have you seen power backfire on someone who thought the rules bent just for them? I read every word. Justice, sometimes it comes in the form of a simple, "You're cleared aboard."